निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणम् Hare Krishna. A human form of life is actually very rare, very, very rare. Even in that human form of life, coming in the association of devotees is even more rare actually. And within that, when we get good association, sadhu sangha sarva shastra lavamatra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoy. When we get that good association, and then through that association, when we actually try to transform our consciousness in the best possible way, that is even more sacred, because marching towards Krishna is greatest thing actually. For that, anything which can be done under our realm is the best. The nature of the mind will always tell, no, this is not practical, this cannot be done, or this is difficult, I can't practice. That we generally hear. If we actually see the acharyas, example of Narottam Das Thakur Maharaj, he had so many difficulties actually. You know what is the greatest difficulty? His spiritual master was not accepting him. This is a great difficulty. Oh, why his spiritual master was not accepting? Spiritual master says, you know everything, and then you are a rich person. I am a lowly person. How can I accept you? The struggle which goes in the heart, Narottam Das Thakur Maharaj, is undescribable. You cannot describe. On one side, he really wanted to practice, but on the other side, his spiritual master is not accepting him. He cannot perceive actually. He's thinking various ways, means how do I help? Just see the thought process which is generating in his heart to some way, shape, or form to please the spiritual master is very dear to Krishna. Krishna really adores it. He's trying to find various ways and means to please him. Please accept, please accept. But for us, everything is readily given. It's the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. It's the mercy of these wonderful Vaishnavas. They gave us everything actually. We didn't have to go anywhere. We didn't have to find who is there, who is here. A couple of days back I was talking to a devotee. telling how important is to have training in one's life, because they were facing some difficulties in practicing. But she told me a question. What is that question? Is Prabhu, when I came to the process of Krishna consciousness, where I was very joyful. Now, after 8-10 years of practice, the process is becoming dried up. Why is that? Why am I not relishing the same relishment which I relished when I first came to the process of Krishna consciousness? What is that? Why? This is a common question which everyone would get. But still the question has to be addressed. The answer to that question is very practical. Is take that association where they are actually experiencing the taste of Krishna consciousness. Now she told, you cannot take the association of Maharaj physically. I said, that's not possible. Physically, taking their association is not possible. That's why try to find a person who can train you nicely in the science of Krishna consciousness. And that person is found, hear from him very attentively. And then try to follow to the best of your ability. You will definitely see the reciprocations coming back again. The reflections coming back again. Yes, that is the only process actually. Our sampradaya is Shikshana sampradaya. Our sampradaya is Shikshana. It's training. That's why Prabhupada has given these beautiful books actually. For us to deepen our faith, consciousness, conviction, our whatnot, everything. When we invest our time in this science of pure devotional service, Anya Abhilashita Shunyam, then actually one will experience the taste of Krishna consciousness. This is what we discussed actually. And she said, definitely. What you said is right. One should strive to that. One should attain. But the only problem is here, even these thoughts will only come during the association. The moment we leave the association, we are so much engaged in our day-to-day activities, this thing will miss from one's life. Actually, I was praying for that family. Please, my dear Lord, please help. Please give them good association so that they can advance in the science of Krishna consciousness. Because there are so many unwanted deviations which can occur within our consciousness. Let me do this, let me do that. I'll give an example how the unwanted deviation do dwell in one's heart. When Shringi heard that his father, Shamik Rishi, now I'll just give a background so that if anyone cannot understand, they can understand. There's a king called Parikshit Maharaj. Comes in Bhagavatam. I will not go into the details of the story. I will give a synopsis. Parikshit Maharaj is going in the forest. All of a sudden he gets thirsty. And then he sees a hut. And then in that hut there is a sadhu. His name is Shamik Rishi. And then he would go and then he would request for some water. But Shamik Rishi Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So Shamak Rishi was actually in deep meditation. He was actually fully absorbed. Was very happy in meditation. And Parikshit Maharaj requests for some water. Oh, Hare Krishna. Parikshit Maharaj requests for some water. He doesn't respond. Generally, Parikshit Maharaj will never be angry on anyone. But here, through the arrangement of the Lord, he becomes angry. And then he would see a dead snake and then puts the dead snake on the neck of Shamakrishi. Now, after seeing this, Shringi came to know that his father was being humiliated. Then he becomes immediately furious. This is a small boy, actually. Small boy. The Brahmana, very small boy. And then this Brahmana, immediately he takes control. That means what is he doing? The mind is distorting through unwanted thoughts, which is not congenial for him at that age. And then the mind immediately said that you curse Parikshit Maharaj. And he immediately accepted that. Kalipurusha, that's how it would work. It would work through the mind. It will tell that's okay. It will tell this is okay, that is okay. You can do this, you can do that. Without any authorization, without any approvals, without any acceptance. Somebody has to approve. For example, you go to office, we cannot do whatever we want. Everything has to be authorized. They should allocate you a project. Either you be a leader of the project or you are a member of the project. Based on the member, you have some responsibilities. Based on the leader, you have some responsibilities. Based on just a reviewer, you have another responsibilities. That means nothing will just happen like that. Oh, okay, let's do this project because I have some time. Or let's do that project because I have some resource. No. The projects are allocated based on the priorities. The priorities are dictated by the board of directors. So the change management chain, they would dictate everything. Oh, you do this, you do that. Let us implement this change. This is our need. Or let us modify this software because we are receiving so many customer complaints on this. It depends on the priority. Nothing just works like that. Whatever I think, I'll just do it. No. But Shringi took that, thinking that Parikshit Maharaj is an ordinary person and is not understanding who that Parikshit Maharaj is. Because just see, the mind is so much distorted. The moment my mind takes our control, the respect towards the other person is not given. The authorization is not taken. How the respect will go? Familiarity. How the respect will come? Will go away? That is through familiarity, dear devotees. The respect is taken away, it's only through familiarity. Because here Shringi, he took everything under his control. The first principle which was broken here was his submissiveness. One should be very submissive to one's authorities. One should be very submissive. But here Shringi, this is a problem actually. It's the greatest problem. All the problems in one's life comes when he is not following the instructions of the acharyas of one spiritual master. Here Shringi was not following what Shamak Rishi. He didn't even request, he didn't even ask Shamak Rishi. at what's going on. He immediately took control on that. And then he cursed Parikshit Maharaj that you die within 7 days. Now here we see the heart, the personality, the magnanimity of this pure devotee, Parikshit Maharaj, where we learn beautiful lessons, and we also learn beautiful lessons from from Shringi, and also from Shamik Rishi. Shringi took everything under his control. One should never take everything under one's control here, devotees. Should never. It's a downfall actually. Today, today the teenagers, the children who are grown up, they're not hearing from the parents. They're not submissive to the parents. Why? Familiarity. They want to do everything by themselves. They are thinking that I know which college I should go, or I know which boyfriend I should have, or I know which girlfriend I should have. There's no authorization. There's no acceptance. There's no superiors. There's no submissiveness. These are all the qualities of Shingi. Everyone is trying to work independently. Everyone. It's the greatest problem actually. Now that is the point where the Brahmanism started downfall. Because what happened here about is acceptance. Acceptance in not the way of what Lord is giving us, but the acceptance, self-created acceptance. The self-created acceptance is the obstruction in one's life. That begins through the self-form. Actually, in today's day and age, there's so many deviations. So many. Unlimited. Why? The only primary reason is Shringi's attitude. That attitude came to us. What is that attitude? Working independently. Non-submissiveness. No, he took control. As a 5-year-old boy, he took control and then he started cursing a personality who's a representative of the Lord. Shakshadhari Tvena Samastas. That kind of a person is Parikshit Maharaj. He's ruling this entire world actually. And then the moment Shamik Rishi heard that, he fell on the floor. Oh, what you have done, my dear child? You know what you have done? I am worried what's going to happen. You have committed the greatest sin, greatest mistake. That's why asking on superiors is a protection for us actually. It is the greatest lesson which we need to take. We should always inquire. I have this problem. How should I deal with this problem? I have this issue. How can I solve this issue? What should I do? My child is like this. What should I do? My husband is like this. What can be done? If both the parties keep Guru Krishna in the center, there are no problems actually. If Shringi would have asked his father, my dear father, these are the thoughts coming in my heart. Should I respond? My mind is telling that to respond like this. Should I respond like this? And he would have immediately addressed him. No, no, Baba, you shouldn't do that. My dear child, you should not do that. Just like Arjuna, he had a problem. He turned towards the Lord. Just see his attitude. Advaishya Sarabhutana. He's non-envious, completely non-envious. Are Dear devotees, what kind of default difficulties Pandavas have faced? Unlimited difficulties. They were about to be killed multiple times. They were being poisoned. They were being their house was put on fire. They've been sent to the forest. They've been humiliated. Their wife were almost about to be naked. So many difficulties. In the midst of all these difficulties, at the end, when Arjuna was about to kill on the battlefield, he says, I cannot do this. He says, for this mere kingdom, how can I accept this? He says, my dear Lord, Krishna, my hands are shaking. He's not thinking that, oh, these people are so sinful. He's not thinking. He's not envious towards them. It's very simple-hearted devotee, Arjuna. Very simple. This we need to learn from these personalities. The moment we give respect to others, dear devotees, that is the moment we will actually see the goodness in them. Dadati pratigunati guhyamakyati prachati bunjate bodhate chedavidir priti lakshana. Those beautiful 6 qualities of giving and taking among the devotees is required. Acceptance, inquiry, dependence, giving our independence to them, submissively inquiring, sharing our heart. All this have to be done. Shingi did not do that. He was not sharing his heart. Rather, he was thinking that he was telling that, oh, you are putting our brahmanas down. You think that Krishna is not there? I will take that control. And he had that powers because he was born for Shamek Rishi. Shamek Rishi trained him, but he used it incorrectly. That was also one of the reasons why Ekalavya was not being given. That was also one of the reasons why Dronacharya, he did not train Ekalavya because his attitude was not right. He was not right. His mentality was not right. This is a problem. When we understand this, dear devotees, we make immense progress actually. Every moment we try to think for their happiness. We see what can be done in our life. Just like Arjuna, he was no doubt it's a difficult situation for him. But what he did, accepted. He did not, he said, my dear Lord, I will not fight this. Because my heart is not accepting. How can I do this? That's okay. I don't want any kingdom, my dear Lord. Krishna, I do not want anything. And then he gives so many reasons for that. What kind of heart is this? On one side, you've been humiliated. Your wife was humiliated in the midst of thousands of people. But still, you're saying that no, I will not kill. This is the quality of a Vaishnava. No matter there are so many difficulties, problems, issues, but still they're turning, they're sharing, they're showing. This is the real heart actually. You know how when the real heart is manifested outside, when the difficulties come, the real heart comes out. The progress in Krishna consciousness depends on how we take difficult situations. That's why when difficulties do come, when situations and scenarios do come into our life, we should always look for Vaishnava association. We always inquire. That is the reason of developing a relationship. Well, what happens, dear devotees? They guide us, they train us, they mentor us, they give solutions for us. This is required actually. Because when we when we accept, I remember a spiritual master telling, he told, okay, you have difficulties, I have a solution for you. You have difficulties, I have a solution for you. All you need to do is you need to just follow whatever I say. If you do that, you'll come out of the difficulty. Even though the difficulty might not be removed right away, but definitely you'll get a solace from it. No, some will hear, some will not hear. That depends on their submission, their attitude. But truth is always truth. Sometimes it is not sometimes, most of the times it's better because of one's attachment in this world. So, Narottam Thakur Maharaj, he was actually hankering for that association. The spiritual master Lokanath Goswami Maharaj is telling, please give me the shelter. He was not accepting. He was unable to accept. He says, no, I cannot do this. And then he did meal services for his spiritual master. Early in the morning, when his spiritual master would pass urine and stool, he would clean up that place after he completed that activity every day. What's happening? Then he understood that Narottam Das Thakur is cleaning up his place every day. Then he said, Dear Narottama, what are you doing this? What is this? Why are you doing like this? Please don't do like this. Why did you do? Because he says, Dear spiritual master, I want to take your association. I have nowhere to go. If you do not accept me, my life is useless. Please accept me. Please give me your mercy. I really require your mercy. Without mercy, I have no existence. Dear devotees, this is the attitude of a sadhaka. This is the only attitude of a sadhaka. He doesn't exist without mercy. Please understand this. Actually, we are mercy for Surif. We are completely dependent on the mercy. Because without that mercy, cannot move forward actually. Prabhupada books, mercy. Shravana, mercy. Everything is mercy. Proper health, mercy. Everything. Honoring Prasad, mercy. Serving the devotees, mercy. Without mercy, there is nothing actually. If there are no devotees, what can we do? If there is no Shravana Kirtana, what can we do? Totally, dear devotees. Totally dependent on the mercy. That's the realization of Narottam Thakur. He says, please, dear spiritual master, even though he knows everything, dear devotees, he's an exalted Vaishnava. But see his. How can we understand if a person knows everything and then the other side he says, I require mercy. What is this? Both are very contradictory. How can we understand this? Yes, it is contradictory. But it is not contradictory. Because Narottam Thakur knows whatever he has received, that is also mercy. But if we actually see this data, what is our entire existence is mercy. We did not say, Krishna, give me human form of life. We did not say, Krishna, make me be born in so and so family. We did not say, Krishna, give me a girl family, girl body. Or we did not say, Krishna, give me a man or a or a boy body. We did not say anything. It's all been given to us. Everything has been given to us. Association has been given to us. Process has been given to us. Everything. If everything has been given to us, how can I proclaim that it is not mercy but something else? He cannot proclaim that. Cannot proclaim that. So important. So that mercy factor always has to be seen. The non-envious factor always has to be verified. If I am seeing devotees, how is my heart reacting? What is the heart saying? Or if I am getting difficulties, how is my heart responding? What am I doing in that situation? How am I taking the shelter in that situation? Please understand this. It's a science. One can never take control, just like Sringi has taken the control. It's a problem. It's really a problem. So we need to understand this science more and more. Because dear devotees, the parameter of progress in Krishna consciousness depends on how we are responding to our heart. This is the parameter. Seeing everyone equally, how is that manifested? That's the parameter, that's a check. Giving respect based on how one should give respect, we should also check that. We should also understand that. These are all important. Very, very important. Hare Krishna. Let's stop here. Anyone would like to add anything? Any questions? Any comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Vishnu Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, hope you feel better soon. Guru's mercy. You are sick, Prabhuji. That's I can say.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu. Hope you feel better. So, Prabhuji, as you discussed about submission, surrender, and to not take control of the situation, it's very important for a person who is following Krishna consciousness. And about Parikshit Maharaj, Shringi and Shamik Rishi, Prabhuji, I saw the three characters. So Parikshit Maharaj did a mistake and Shringi gave him a curse. So it's like tit for tat. So he took the revenge by cursing him. Whereas Shamik Rishi, who had this the episode, who got this dead snake in his snake, he is so devoted and surrendered. He did not react with that. Even rather, he just tried to tell his son, like, why you did that? Why you like? So that's a quality of a devotee to overcome the situation with surrendering to Krishna. Like whatever happened, it's okay. It's the providence. So he should not react or he should not be angry. So it's so important. Prabhuji, three characters it's has given here in this uh, uh, cursing of Parikshit Maharaj by Shamik Rishi. I'm sorry, by Shringi. So that's a very exemplary Prabhuji. That's what and you discussed about that already.
Actually, Shamik Rishi is not thinking about himself. You actually see that. It's totally, it's a kind of humiliation, putting a dead snake on the neck. He's not actually thinking about, his thing. Oh, this person has put a dead snake on me. But rather, he knows the glories or the magnanimity of Parikshit Maharaj. Not just that, he is seeing his, because that is the nature of a devotee. The devotee would never think about himself because he's always trying to figure out of how he can be helpful, how he can serve the devotees, how he can serve others, how he can serve the community. That is his whole idea. He's not thinking about himself. Oh, this what's going to happen? I'm mochi. I have to get that. To I have to get bath. He's not thinking of any of those things. Rather, he's thinking of what's going to happen to the Brahminical society. He says to Shringi, dear Shringi, this is a degradation of Brahmanism. That at that moment, Brahmanas degradation began. Because what happened? Lord who is a Brahmana. Brahmana is the head. When head is distorted, what happens? Enter the hands are distorted. That means head is the head. That's why it says head. The Brahmanism distorted because the qualities are lost. That becomes the deviation. That becomes the obstruction in the process. The first principle of a Brahmanism is very submissive, authorized, non-envious, clean heart, honesty, selflessness, surrender. These are all the qualities. The Brahmana has to cultivate it. What to speak of Vaishnava? It's very important. So if these qualities have to be there in us. We have to cultivate this quality. We have to give respect. There's no other way around. There's no workaround for this. And that comes through mercy. Should beg for that mercy. We should aspire for that mercy. Please, my dear Lord, please give me. Please help me. Now the Lord will ask, oh, why do you want these qualities? We should have an answer for that. The answer is I should serve my spiritual master with those qualities. Then Krishna will give. Otherwise, those qualities do not have any meaning. What is the meaning? Example, if you know how to do development, you learned Java and everything. You know how to develop, but you do not have a project. Can you enhance your skills? No, you cannot enhance your skills. We require a project for doing it, for doing that act, for doing the knowledge which you have received. Because we require service. For that, we need to be dependent, totally dependent. We're utterly dependent, actually. That we understand. But here, what happened? Shringi took everything under his control. He is thinking that he is a master. That's the problem. That is the problem. Because he thinks that he is Brahmana. Brahma Janati iti Brahmana. That Brahmana who's in the platform of Brahman, he is not thinking that he is a Brahmana. But here, through the attitude of a neophyte, what is happening? He knows something, now he is thinking that he is that. He is not seeing the person behind it who gave him. And this is also impersonalism is also one of the reasons why the submissiveness is gone or taken away from one's heart. But Arjuna on the other side is very personal. He had a problem. So he inquired from the Lord about that problem. Likewise, we should inquire our problems with our teachers, with our spiritual master. Very important. With our teacher. Which because if this thing is not established, then we will actually suffer so much. Why? Because we do not have a solution for that. The Google will not give solution for the problems, or for the difficulties. The solution is Guru Sadhu Shastra. That is only a solution. Every problem in this world, you have a solution for that. Any problem. You name any problem in this world. The solution is this. Guru Sadhu Shastra. It gives everything. If you actually see, Krishna gave the teachings to Arjuna during the most difficult time in his life. And it worked for Arjuna. It worked for all the exalted Vaishnavas. Right from that. Right since time immemorial. Imam vivasvate yogam proktamam ahamavyayoam parampara praptam imam rajarsayo viduho has been there since time immemorial. That means the science of Gita has been there since time immemorial. Only it requires the moment of acceptance. When that comes, no one can stop in this world. That means any difficulties, it's not a stoppage. Actually, those difficulties will become stepping stones for our success in our life. Because in our life, we all want to be happy. We cannot be happy without Krishna consciousness. The only way to be happy is with Krishna consciousness, not without. What is this body? This body can stay here, can go away within a moment. We're not that, we are behind that. Behind that body, we are a powerful spirit soul. That soul has an eternal relationship. That is also one of the reasons why we tend to put different circumstances like let me do an investment there, or let me do an investment. I'm not saying that we shouldn't do. What I'm saying is these are the things which we do because we are eternal. There's no one in this world who goes and purchases a home thinking that he will die. Because that is not the nature of the soul. The soul's nature is eternal. He always thinks that he's there. That's why he does all the investments. Because he knows he will be there. The body will not be there, but the soul will be there. Because there's a quality of the soul. It's just perverted. It's just a reflection. But the nature is there. In the heart. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna. I'll stop here. If I caused an inconvenience through my words, please excuse me. Hare Krishna. Let us all offer our humble obeisances unto all Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, who are just like desires. You can fulfill the desires of everyone. They're full of compassion for the fallen conditions. So, Pancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Gurudev ki